David Wood claims the Quran self-destructs because it affirms the Torah and the Gospel while contradicting today's Bible. It's actually a nice slogan, but bad scholarship. David Wood has been corrupting this young generation into repeating something they don't understand. An example of that is something that came up on my feed. This young kid who showed up at the Muslim lanterns thinking he could prove the Islamic dilemma.
I'm completely open to being Muslim if it were to be the truth. That's why I converted to Catholicism. But I have some questions, and ultimately they'll lead up to a main objection, similar to like the Islamic dilemma, if you've heard of that. And I just wanted to see what your thoughts were on that.
Yeah, I always say to the people there isn't such a thing as there's no such thing as an Islamic dilemma. And I will always ask this question: what is the Islamic dilemma? Tell me, what is this Islamic dilemma? Because we don't
Hmm.
have dilemmas. I think dilemmas
Okay, well,
only
yeah,
exist in
yeah.
Christianity. For example, like explaining the Trinity, this is a dilemma that exists in Christianity. We don't have dilemmas like this. So, what is this Islamic dilemma? What is that?
Find out next how the so-called Islamic dilemma is really exposing the incompetency of the Christians. It really makes them so desperate and reveals a completely different type of ignorance that is out of this world. They have a problem with four wives and with family values. They have a problem with a man and a woman, masculinity, the beard, the hijab, the prayer, the fasting, the charity, feeding the homeless, piety, marriage, honesty and truthfulness, justice, compassion and mercy, kindness, morality, accountability, on and on. But they don't have a problem with three gods. They don't have a problem with Jeffrey Epstein either, nor do they have a problem with systems and ideologies that contradicts Christianity. If you can't stand for moral teachings of what Jesus really preached, you will fall for anything. The so-called Islamic dilemma has been an unsupported and disproven interpretation throughout history. This is another desperate shot at refuting Islam to stop the massive losses of Christians to Islam. The real dilemma is how 1 plus 1 plus 1 equals 1.